Dear brothers and sisters, a renowned writer, Rabindranath Tagore, has shared a thought-provoking parable. A poor beggar was sitting by the roadside, outside, begging for alms. And then he saw the king's chariot approaching, and his heart leapt with expectations. He would be blessed by the generosity of the king. As the chariot drew near, he extended his hand with a humble plea for some alms. And to his surprise, the king asked the driver to stop. Alighting from the chariot, the king approached the beggar and asked for alms. Utterly confused, the beggar puts his hand in his bag of corn and takes a grain of corn and gives it to the king. The king thanks him and returns to his chariot, which soon speeds away. Cursing himself for the bad day, the beggar got back to his home, to his hut in the evening. And when he emptied his bag on the floor, the heap of corn which he put on the floor, he found one grain of gold. And he regretted that he did not have the heart to give the king all the corn he had in his bag. The moral of the story is quite clear. The measure that we receive, the more we receive, the more we'll get less. The more we give, the more we receive. And the less we give, the less we receive. This indeed is the fact of life, and it has guaranteed reward, because this principle is given by God Himself. Treat others as you would have others treat you. For the measure that you award others is the measure that will be awarded to you. And so today Jesus confronts us with an astounding challenge. He says, if anyone comes to me without hating his father and mother, wife and children, brothers and sisters, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Of course, this word hate is quite strong, but the vocabulary, Hebrew, they do not have the equivalent of the word hate, which here means love less. If you love less God more than others, you are not worthy of God. So this must be interpreted figuratively and not literally. What Jesus is saying to us is that we must at all times maintain a definite set of priorities. God should always come first. To do otherwise is like putting the cart before the horse. Not only is it ludicrous, but counterproductive. And it is for that reason Jesus said, what does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? Acquiring wealth, money is good. In fact, it is necessary. But obsessively pursuing and compulsively amassing wealth, even by foul means, renders a person likely to eternal damnation, from which not all wealth in the world can redeem him. So, in a word, wealth in all circumstances should be regarded as a means to an end and not an end to itself. So Saint Ignatius was taken up by these words. What does it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his soul? You know the story of Ignatius' conversion. royal family, was a soldier fighting for his country and land, gets injured by the cannonball. Before that, his dreams were to marry the princess, eventually become a member of the royal household. Great dreams, all shattered because his leg was destroyed, knee was broken. But he had still the dream to marry someone. So he undergoes an operation, that time without anesthesia, to set the bones in such a way that his leg becomes all right. But it was not successful. His leg became shorter than the other, and he was with a limp. And that was the end of his career. So then when he was convalescing, he asked for books, romantic books to read. He did not get any. In fact, they gave him the lives of saints. And he read that and he was challenged by their lives. He says, why not become a soldier of God? Why fight and destroy and kill people and destroy wealth and property and destroy oneself? Why not fight for God under the banner of cross? And eventually he underwent a conversion of his soul. It's not just a conversion, an invitation to become disciple of Jesus. He knew the cost of discipleship. Leave your father, mother, wife, children, leave your wealth. And then Jesus also puts another challenge. The second point he makes in the gospel reading today. Which of you, wishing to construct a tower, does not first sit down and calculate the costs to see if there is enough for its completion? So one should look before one leaps, is a saying. No one is so foolish as to start an enterprise without first weighing the pros and cons carefully and objectively. We know all of individuals who have failed to cut their coat according to their cloth, recklessly investing money without thought of complex implications and with disastrous consequences. If you start some project, say for instance a tower, the time tower was used to supervise the enemy, tower was put up in the fields to take care of the flock. So if the person does not have enough money, enough resources, and he starts the building and does not complete it, people will laugh at him. So discretion is indeed the better part of valor. What Jesus would have us know is what we need to be prudent at all times in all our personal affairs, be they personal, social, professional, most importantly, spiritual. And this is what St. Ignatius did. He's checked whether he is fit to become the disciple of Jesus. He underwent conversion. He did penance. He asked for forgiveness for all the sinful life he led. Made sacrifices. Wanted to imitate Jesus just like the saints did. In everything he did, he wanted to go to Jerusalem, be there, and go to all the places which Jesus went to, and live his life completely dependent on God. So he used to beg from people things which he required for his work. At the same time, he used to work with people, stay in the hospitals, heal the sick. Eventually, he taught people how to follow Christ through his spiritual exercises. All this he got through his life of prayer. And then he had to go through the studies, formal studies of the church, theology, philosophy, at an old age. He did all that, and finally he saw He gave all his wealth, all his property he sold, and gave it to the church. Went to the Pope with the 9 followers to serve the Pope, to serve God under the banner of Christ, under the Pope's authority, and he started the Society of Jesus. What does it gain if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? And then he offered his life, and this is his prayer. Take, O Lord, receive all my liberty, my memory, my understanding, my entire will, all that I have and possess. You have given all to me, to you, O Lord, I return it. All is yours. Dispose of it wholly according to your will. Only give me your love and your grace. That is sufficient for me. And so he made God his priority, his goal. Because it is God who created us, God who gave this world to us. And so the first commandment, the first principle of life, praise God, love God, love your neighbor as you love God. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. And so we have the Mark Link, a Jesuit, who shares a poem which compares our commitment to Jesus as 2 people riding in tandem a bicycle. At first, I sat in front, Jesus in the rear. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was there. I could feel his help when the road got steep. Then one day, Jesus changed seats with me. Suddenly, everything went topsy-turvy. When I was in control, the ride was predictable, even boring. But when Jesus took over, it got wild. I could hardly hold on. This is madness, I cried out. But Jesus smiled and said, pedal, keep going.